When's the last time you watched a live music performance on a WWE show and said to yourself, wow, that's not ass? Probably not often. WWE has a weird and complicated relationship with live music performances. Usually saved for WrestleMania, many bands and artists have played wrestlers to the ring. These performances look pretty grandiose, but they usually sound like someone is playing an unmixed Ableton session through a tin can of ass. I can't emphasize how cool they look sometimes though, like they got Motionless in White to play Rhea Ripley to the ring at Mania 40, and Chris Motionless looked more like Rhea Ripley than Rhea Ripley. It was transcendent. On mute. A lot of the time, the reason these performances come off awkward and painful to listen to is probably because nobody in the WWE can mix live music. Either the mix sounds like a car crash with flat vocals, or it sounds mysteriously exactly like the recorded rendition of the song itself is just being blasted over all the speakers. Because it is. I'm sure that mixing a live band or artist performance at a stadium or arena is hard for a company that's, in the wrestling business. However, there's a few times when miracles have struck, the clouds opened up, and Jim Johnston forgave all of our sins. So today I'm giving you the 5 best WWE live performances because honestly 95% of them are shitty, and I want to do something positive today. And after that, we can get into why exactly most of these performances suck so bad. First, I just want to give an honorable mention to Motorhead, who did Triple H's The Game theme at 2 different WrestleManias, and Lemmy bungled the lyrics at both of them. It was hilarious, they didn't sound horrible, I appreciate the consistency, and I love Motorhead. So RIP Lemmy. Number 5, Saliva at WrestleMania 18. If you've seen WrestleMania 18, you know that Drowning Pool sounded pretty questionable on that show. Both Drowning Pool and Saliva had multiple chances to sound decent that night on what was the most 2002 of 2002 shows ever produced. However, Drowning Pool kinda sunk, and Saliva swam. Saliva Superstar was the theme song for that year's Mania, and they played it live at the actual event, and it sounded pretty damn good, better than it had any right to be. On top of that, they played the Dudley Boys to the ring, and I still get flashbacks of it in my dreams. Number 4, Code Orange at NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 2. So I'm putting this here more for the sound quality and the music than I am for being an iconic WWE entrance. Aleister Black entered the NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 2 with Code Orange and Incendiary playing the song Root of All Evil, which is both their song and Black's theme. And it's a good song. The ambiance was killer. The Aleister Black entrance with all the candles and the gurneys are sick on their own, but Triple H at the time clearly was trying to get some metal music back into the WWE product. We missed it greatly. Because heavens forbid we give everybody generic pop rap brain rot as their theme song. His route to a metal resurgence was NXT Black and Gold, and boy did it ever hit sometimes. The song itself bangs, but the fact that the band was so tight and Black's expression was so stoic made it even better. I dare you to check this one out and not immediately get hype. And also stay hype. And just to pad out this NXT Black and Gold mention a little bit more, NXT in 2019 also had Poppy play Io Shirai, aka Io Sky currently, to the ring on a random episode of NXT on Halloween, and it was like reaching into a bag of Pez candy and pulling out a Reese's cup. It was just unexpected and pleasant. Great era of music in WWE. Number 3, Chris Warren and the DX Band, WrestleMania 14. Okay, I know. It wasn't the cleanest live performance, but the energy was palpable in that arena that night. Chris Warren and the DX Band played Shawn Michaels to the ring, and it was a spectacle of raw emotion and a good time. It just seemed fun to be there. I would say this performance doesn't knock it out of the park with sound quality or with tight, well-arranged musical prowess, but boy, is it fun to watch and listen along, and I love Chris Warren's hat. This is mostly for the hat. What a great hat. Slight disclaimer to this one though, earlier in the same night, the band did play America the Beautiful and wow.
Number 2, Living Color at WrestleMania 29.
Now this was sick. Corey Glover's vocals really put this one on top for me personally. This song is tough to sing on its own, but this man did not come to play that day. His voice sounded even better than the recording in my opinion, and that is hard to do live. They didn't hide behind recordings, they all showed their talent, and they are absolutely one of the best performances a wrestling show, in my opinion, has ever seen. Living Color would play CM Punk to the ring again for his WrestleMania 41 Night 1 main event in 2025, and it was alright. It didn't have the same sound quality as the Mania 29 performance, but that's what happens when WWE can't consistently mix audio well in stadiums. Shade. And number 1, it's pretty obvious, Limp Bizkit at WrestleMania 19. Playing The Undertaker to the ring in Seattle in 2003, Limp Bizkit was the perfect musical guest at the perfect time. It was a little sloppy at times, yes, but it wouldn't be Limp Bizkit without a little slop, The hype, the energy, and the song easily trumped every negative though, as you can watch this performance at any given time in your life and immediately think, Hell yeah. No other performance WWE has done has ever had the same grit, emotion, and fan reaction that this one had. The fact that even the audience was into it is saying something, as usually these live performances go over like Mozart at a cookout. Okay, so there's my list, and we could debate what the best ones are all day, but there's probably no debating which ones are the pinnacle of butthole, aka almost every other one. So why are so many of them trash? I got a few theories. First, stadium acoustics are already challenging for any sound engineer, let's be real. The sound bounces everywhere, echoes horribly, and it's super unforgiving. As the stadium sizes increased for WrestleMania over the years, in my opinion, the live performances have gotten a little worse. Number two, mixing. WWE's production team is world-class at wrestling production, of course, but mixing live vocals, instruments, and crowd noise, that's not really in their wheelhouse, I would say. That's why they pull out studio recordings a lot, which of course is safe, but it kind of takes the air out of the room when you hear it live in a full stadium of people. It's a little weird. Number three, show placement. I remember at WrestleMania 25, they had Kid Rock do a whole multi-song performance before the two main events of the night, and goddamn, the crowd was fried. I would be too if I took a sound bath in hot mediocrity oil, to be fair. And finally, number four, rehearsal time. So the ring crew has to set up the wrestling ring, entrance ramp, and somehow squeeze in time for sound check before the show. It's like trying to smash bang a concert into a venue inside a wrestling show inside a sports stadium within just a few hours before the show starts. I do not envy the work. I'm not saying it's easy at all. So what's the solution here? Well, WWE could start by bringing in a dedicated audio team for these performances. Maybe they do already, but they could also treat these musical moments with the same attention that they give to the wrestling and entrance productions that they usually have. Until then, we'll probably keep getting what we got, visually impressive performances that sound like slushing dog water. The whole experience of making this video, though, by the way, definitely reminded me that while WWE can make wrestling look great, they can't really put on a concert for dick, unless they have one of the following, which is a tight band, a great vocalist, a decent mix for a stadium, Fred Durst, the year 2003, or the song Rollin'. Any one of those would work. But unless they have one of those, you could usually expect the performance to be not so great. Anyways, thanks for watching, y'all. Hope you learned something today, and on your way out, leave me a comment.
Ooh, chavo.